Welcome, Iowans for Freedom. We tomorrow's the big day, so we go back to the Capitol, and we'll probably have 1,000 people there. So if you hadn't planned on it, you're gonna miss out if you don't show up. Here comes Emily Peterson. Let's see what she has to say. One of the mama bears. Let's see. Hold on, Emily. Hold on one second. Hold on, folks. Okay, Emily, you're on my video.
I'm on your video?
You're on my video.
Okay. Good evening, Oliver. Nice to be with you.
Hey, welcome to Iowans for Freedom.
Thank you.
I was just
what I
putting
wanted to
together.
talk to you about.
Really? Okay. I was just putting
Yeah.
out a video for tomorrow. So what do you
Wonderful.
know?
Let's talk.
Okay, let's talk.
Well, I know this. Tomorrow we're going to pray for every Iowan who cares about freedom to show up together in one united voice to say we will not comply any longer, and we demand our freedom, just as our forefathers did, just as my grandpa did, and fought in the war. We owe it to those people who fought for our freedom to be there, and to our children. I can't say to my children years from now, I could have fought for you, but I didn't want to, be embarrassed, or I didn't want to be inconvenienced, or I didn't want to have any backlash in my life for standing for the truth and for righteousness' sake. I couldn't live with myself. So I will be there as early as I can tomorrow, hopefully by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and can't wait to see everyone there. And truly, everyone seems like they're just coming together like family now. Like we are becoming like family, those who are standing together, because we need one another. We truly do.
It's amazing. Someone came up with this idea of these candles for
Incredible.
tomorrow. One candle for every 10 deaths from COVID vaccination. And stickers. So she put out a request on our group chat about getting folks there at 7 a.m. that could help out with stickers. So if you could come at 7, not necessarily you, Emily, but if you're watching this and you can show up at 7 a.m. to help put stickers on the backdrop and help set up the candles, that would be awesome. I'm so glad you called.
Many hands make light work, right?
Yes, exactly. We can make it go quickly. And I'll be there at 7 as well. Yep.
I'll be there just as soon as I can. My little one has to get off to school, but I'm gonna try to rearrange some things and get there just as soon as I possibly can.
For sure. Yep. And I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's several bills being put out that could really, really comprehensively protect our medical freedoms. I've heard from folks that nothing's going to happen. I've heard from folks that there's a lot that's going to happen, that they're going to at least do something to temporarily fix what's going on, so that in the next session we can really, really comprehensively fix it. But what do you think,
That would be
Emily?
incredible. We need God's help. I mean, I just think that tomorrow needs to be a time of prayer. I mean,
For sure.
We're in a sense in a war as well. Like our forefathers, yes, they fought in a physical, tangible, foreign adversary war, but we are also in a war. And so I really believe the only way we're going to win this is to seek God's help. And I think a lot of people view the same thing. I mean, I've heard from hundreds of Iowans all over the country, talking to people as we travel and as we make connections. And most people do see the spiritual battle. So I think tomorrow would be great to gather together in prayer before everything begins, and to invite God's presence with us, because we need it.
We do. We need God's presence. And, at the end of, or at every Liberty Champions meeting I go to, Lance says the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men and women to do what?
I love that quote. That's
right.
Edmund Burke or Edward Burke.
Right. And everybody says nothing. Yep. So we just have to do something, right? Yep.
Yes,
Edmund Burke.
Yes,
yep. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Men
I
to
always
do
add
nothing.
men and women. So,
Yep, that's right. Men
and
and women
honestly,
together.
if you look at our membership, I think 70% of our members are women.
Wow, I did not know that. That's incredible. It's like a
Yeah,
spirit of Esther rising up in Iowa. And I
it
really
is.
believe, Oliver, that Iowa's going to lead this way. I just, something within me believes that because of the spirit within the people. You know, you always hear about Iowa nice. Well, we're nice, but we're also going to be Iowa bold because
Iowa
we are
bold,
Iowa bold.
Iowa strong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Iowa strong. We're the heart of the nation. We're the
Yes, we
center.
are.
We're the heartland, and I think that what we do will reverberate throughout, or reverberate, or whatever you want to say, throughout the nation. I mean, people will look to us. I mean, you go, we're one of the most free places in the world, but we're not quite there yet.
I agree, Oliver. I agree. I don't know if this would be better for your sake if you want me like on viewing. I mean,
Sure.
or is this okay? I mean, I can.
Well, yeah, we can let me see if I can add you to this. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let's see. Participants, invite. I can get you online here. Um,
Is this going to be through YouTube?
I'll send you this will be through I'll send you an email,
Okay.
maybe. What's an email that's okay that people will hear? They're gonna hear it.
You can do Iowa Mama Bears at protonmail.com. Iowa Mama Bears at protonmail.com. Mama spelled MAMA.
Okay. I'm terrible. I went to public school. Iowa Mama Bears at protonmail.com. Oops. It went CO. Come on. That's what happens.
No problem.
So what have
I
you been
do
up
have a
to?
celebration I can share with
Okay,
everyone while
do
we're
it.
waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, so as last year, Kimberly and I, our daughters, suffered under the hands of the policies that the Ankeny Public Schools put upon them, which was segregation and plexiglass, right?
Yep.
And now that they've voted to put the mask back on kids, we were ready for them this time. We handed out hundreds of religious exemptions. We taught people online how easy it can be done because many people and parents have never had the experience of filling out one of those vaccination or mask exemption forms. So they weren't even sure where to begin. So we tried to link as many people as possible to that information. We got it out there, and now we have over 1,400 children in the Ankeny schools on mask.
That's amazing. That is
Isn't that
amazing.
incredible,
Yes.
Oliver?
That's
So what they
incredible.
intended for evil, God used for good. And not only that good, but now we've got thousands more parents angry because their freedom of choice is being taken away and they're ready to vote in the November 2nd election. So if you're out there and you haven't voted in a school board meeting or a city council, now is the time to get active. We must get out there for the sake of our children. It is truly a decision between freedom and communism. Communism in the sense that they are taking away your parental rights. They're saying, we, the government, own your children. They don't. We need to take that back. And we can do that November 2nd. So everyone needs to get out and vote.
Definitely. I was at a school board open forum for the candidates last night in my community, and there were only two candidates that did not skirt around the subject, did not polititalk around it, that said, oh, no masks and no vax for our kids. And those are the two that will definitely I'm promoting very hard. Here we go. I think I just admitted you there. So
Great.
I'm gonna hang up, I think.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, Emily. There you go.
Am I going to be able to hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. So we've
No.
got one of the mama bears on here.
I am
Surprise
not-
guest.
Hold on just one moment.
Take your time. Our members are very
Oh,
patient.
Oliver. There we go.
Our
I can
members are
hear
very
now. No
patient.
problem. Is this
Perfect.
okay?
That's perfect.
Okay, great. Great.
So you got
It's
14.
incredible. I was praying that you'd be available tonight to talk. And look, here we are. We're talking
The
to
power of
every
prayer.
Iowan.
I
I
had
don't know
just
what it
flipped the
is in my
switch
heart,
and
but I
started
truly
recording.
love our state. I
Yeah.
truly do. I believe that when this began, Oliver, God put together you, Sonia, Leslie, myself, Kimberly, some of the leaders that were just ready to do something, to take action. And we all did it together. We all used our gifts and we came together as one. It's not about competition. It's about freedom. And it's about unity, because a house divided is going to fall. We cannot be divided in any way.
Well, and I had just come off of 9 months of meditation and prayer every morning writing this book. And
Wow.
what I was doing was going into promoting that work, and I had to step into the freedom movement. God called me to do it, but I have the base of inner peace and of knowing that everything I do needs to be for God. And so what we're doing to free our brothers and sisters in Iowa and hopefully, the whole nation is God's work.
I'm kind of starting to get a little bit teary, to be honest with you. Because
It is.
at the end of the day, you're 100% right.
Right.
And God is not going to be fooled.
Yeah.
Like, I can say, yeah, I'm doing it for God, but God truly knows my heart. And so throughout this whole process, there's had to be such a refinement in me that I'm ready for, I'm ready for it. But it's painful and it's hard, but we all have to go through it. Like David, and also with Daniel's first test wasn't the lion's den. It was early on in Babylon when he was taken to a very forsaken city that was full of filth and vileness. And he was tested by the Lord. And so I'm ready, and I couldn't be more thankful, but in the end, it's all for him. It's not for me. I'm really humbled by where God's brought me, and I will continue to stay that humble person because he won't allow us to be exalted without humility. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I hope we can pray on while we're together here with everyone. Hopefully they can join us, and the Lord will hear our prayers and answer with a big number of people tomorrow.
Yes. If you haven't registered or if you haven't clicked on your going with
Please
whatever you've gotten, please do. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody. I mean, you people that show up or the few that do, you show up and you represent the rest of Iowa for those that can't make it or those that won't make it. We've been the silent majority for way too long. It's time for everybody to speak up and stand up. And we have such a great group of folks that show up.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And diverse. I mean, from so many different backgrounds and areas of Iowa. So if you're listening and you're even from afar, please come. I mean, we may not get that many more chances, like the time is now. We have to come together now. And even if you've never been to one of these, now is the time to go.
Exactly. If
We're
not
all
you,
a family together for freedom.
We are. If not you, who? If not now, when?
Yeah. Amen to that.
Right. No one else is going to do it.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. I really wish, Oliver, that not only would I be joining you October 28th, but I would be able to go to a school board meeting on Monday, November 1st. But Kimberly and I are going to be down in Florida with General Flynn, meeting a bunch of mama bears that are on fire down in Florida to free the faces of their children down there as well. So we are going to be rallying with them. However, Monday, Ankeny people who are listening to this, and even Waukee, I know there's been controversy over books found in the libraries in the schools. Have you heard about this, Oliver?
I haven't. No, tell me about it.
Oh, okay. Well, we're talking very graphic, almost pornographic material found in the school's libraries. I will give you the titles. You can look them up yourself And in fact, I will give you, Oliver, the link that they can look up any school's library book. So it's a library catalog for any of their schools in Iowa. And you can discover these books for yourself. But these books have graphic depictions of oral sex between children.
Oh my gosh. Oh
They
my
have
gosh.
pictures, and they have pictures in the books. And so these are going to be read before the school board on Monday, because we as parents need to protect the hearts and minds of our children. That belongs nowhere near in our school system. And if they want to call books instructional materials, they do not need to be instructing our children in those areas whatsoever. That is our
Definitely
job.
not. Now, are
In
these
fact, they
books,
should be investigated. You wouldn't believe the level of depravity, Oliver, of these books. I will give you the
these
links.
books are in the Waukee Library?
They are.
Oh
And
my
a parent
gosh.
read from them during the board meeting, and I almost puked
Oh my
hearing what was being
gosh.
read out loud. It was
That
horrific.
is
And now
terrible.
I've been reading some of the material inside the books and looking at some of the pictures, and because one of them is a graphic novel, like a comic book, and it's
Okay.
very explicit, and it needs to be taken out of the library. There needs to be investigation. Jake Chapman, Senator Jake Chapman, not sure if you'll ever listen to this or if you're listening, but thank you. He has called for an investigation into the Waukee schools for having these materials, and there needs to be one into the Ankeny school system as well. They have
Wow.
the same materials. The books are called Beyond Magenta. Beyond Magenta. It's called All Boys Aren't Blue. That's the second book. All Boys Aren't Blue. And the third book is called Gender Queer. Those three books. And there's also one called Lawn Boy. That's a fourth one. I haven't investigated that one yet myself, but those other three I have. And they're either at the middle school or the high school or both. And so we're going to gather parents on Monday, and they are going to be reading those books at the school board meeting.
Wow. That is crazy. Wow.
I
At the meeting last night at the open forum, they asked the candidates what they thought of SEL, social emotional learning, which
Yeah.
I've heard is the new name for sneaking in
CRT.
some of what was categorized as that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious how they answered.
Well, I think a couple members, I don't think any of them really knew what it was.
Okay.
I did send a link to an article to a couple of the members after the meeting, and they were kind of appalled. We
Mhm.
have a new social worker that is sharing between Winterset and our school, and she spoke at the first board meeting of the year, and it is what it is, but she had her pronoun on her profile.
Oh,
And
goodness.
I don't understand that, so I think
No.
no matter what school, we have a great school. I love our school. I love our teachers and our superintendent and even most of our board members, but we have to stay vigilant because that stuff gets snuck in.
Yes, we do. I admit I wasn't vigilant. I did not know that these existed in the school library. I did find them in the Kirkendall one and address that, but then I thought, no, they'd never be in the schools. And
Right.
then when I got a hold of the library catalog, my investigative mind just went in that direction. And so I started investigating for myself, and yep, they're there.
Wow. That's scary. Yeah, so
It
our
very
school
much
boards are
is.
really important. So get out and vote.
Yes,
Support
get out and vote.
your I mean, I live in Clive, so and my kids go to school in another school. And so I didn't even think about it. Somebody knocked on my door, and it was someone that I pushed to start let the parents decide Waukee. And
Oh,
so
that's
we had a
great.
nice conversation, and I thought, holy cow, I can vote in the Waukee election. So I've got the three members I'm voting for, and my wife and I will go vote for them and support them. Even though
Good.
we're promoting people in where our kids
Right,
go to school, but we
right.
can still vote in the Waukee School District. So
It's good to have influence in both places for
they
sure.
will get our votes.
So Oliver, do you know the agenda a little bit for tomorrow, what people can expect? Can we talk about that for them?
I believe it'll be similar to the last session. We'll have 8:30 a.m. We'll start with, kind of talking about the candles and what's going on for the day, and different leaders will speak. And my assumption is that then we'll move to the viewing areas for whichever, whether the House or the Senate is in session first, so that they know we're there, and we can make an impact. And whatever the decisions they make, they're going to make it in front of a crowd, you know.
Hmm.
It's not going to
Yeah.
be just them debating and talking. They're going to be debating in front of full galleries. So that's our plan, is to, I'm not sure if it'll be, 10 o'clock that there'll be a gallery. I haven't really paid as much of attention as I should, but if you show up at 8:30, you'll get to hear, you know, we'll start with a prayer. We'll all speak, different senators and representatives will speak, and then we'll move to the viewing galleries. So
That sounds great.
that's what I'm
Is it going
guessing.
to go on until about 3 o'clock?
That's that's my guess. I mean, it's hard to
Okay.
say.
But I know that some people's time is limited. So, if you can only come in the morning session, please still come.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to be able to be there the entire day. Please come and join us for the time that you can be there. It's very valuable, just the little time that you can spend there, or
That's
as
it.
much.
And if you can't show up until noon, show up at noon for 2
Yes,
hours.
yes,
If you can come from 10 to noon, come from 10 to noon. I mean, we'll be there all day. So just
yes,
come when you can,
yes,
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah.
I will put out the flyer again on our Freedom Over Fear page, and I'll put it out there on my personal page as well, and remind everyone that tomorrow is the day, and we'll be ready, and we'll be seeking God together and asking for his intervention for all of these families, because in one way or another, everyone is going to be affected by this. There's going to be a huge strike all over. One thing I can introduce to our audience that many people don't know yet, because they don't know Lee Dundas. So Lee Dundas was just on our show, on our podcast, Iowa Mama Bears.
Hey,
Lee
when am
Dundas,
I going to be on that podcast?
very soon. Can you come on?
Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime for you guys.
Okay. That would be wonderful. And even if Kim's not available, I can set something up too. But we usually pre-record and then we post. So right
Okay.
now we've been very busy with, I'm trying to think, the people that we've more focused on are those who have been hurt by the mandates in some way. We have a young girl who was basically put in solitary confinement in her school with no
Wow.
windows, like in this small little dinky room, for standing up for her rights. She's 14 years old. We're going to feature her soon. We featured Ruby Joe, who was injured by the masks, and she had an infectious disease, in fact, from the masks. We featured another parent as part of a Marshalltown coalition who gathered together and overturned their school board's vote. That's
Wow.
incredible. So we've only been doing 5 episodes. So absolutely, Oliver, we'll get you
You know
on.
what? When you do that, you're building leaders. I mean, those people that will already stand up, and then you're giving them a platform to speak on, you're building leaders, our future leaders.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love
It's
it.
very exciting what's going on. But Lee Dundas had the announcement that November 8th through November 12th, there is going to be a nationwide strike. We're talking the biggest names on board, such as General Flynn and anyone that he's contacted. The Clay Clark tour is on board. Every big business and corporation that you can think of. We've got people from the percentage of 30 to 70% unvaxxed, anywhere in between there. We've got the employees. So we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people striking all at once, all across this country. And
November
we invite you to
8th
join
through
too.
November 8th?
Through November 12th. And I will get you the flyer, Oliver, so you can post it with on your page and with this video.
Oh, I would love to promote that. I mean, that's what we need. We need
Yes.
people
And
walking
it's
out
going
of
to be
work.
hundreds of thousands. We're talking,
Yeah.
other airline people, truckers, offshore people. I mean, just everybody in any type of business and any type of blue collar, white collar job you can think of. We're all going to do it at once, and we're going to be heard, because the world's going to, I mean, the US is going to stop. I mean, we're we're not we're not working. So we're going to be heard.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, that's what we
Hmm.
need to do. I mean, I read something troubling the other day. It was a newsletter from Iowa Association of Business and Industry, and
I
they
read that
basic.
too.
Did you read that?
I
Yeah, they
did.
took.
Thank you for putting it out there.
Yeah, they took credit for the businesses and employers from being exempted from the vaccine passport ban bill. They said they prevailed upon our legislators and our representatives in allowing employers to be able to put out these mandates if they want
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
So I just, who are they representing? Who are
Yeah.
our legislators representing? They're supposed to be representing the people. We're the ones that put them in office, so they have some lobbyists and some benefactors probably that donate to their campaigns, and they feel like they need to listen to them, but they really need to
Yep.
hear us.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And it also helps us understand the motivations and what drives some of these politicians, and the ones we can trust and the ones we can't.
Exactly. Yeah. And we'll know after tomorrow.
Yes, we
We'll have a
will.
better idea of who we can trust and who we
Because
can't.
I've had some questions about some certain high up, maybe majority leaders in the Iowa legislation that might
Right.
be not necessarily for the people. So, God has a way of exposing people. And I
Definitely.
think people's true colors are going to come out one way or another. We're going to know very shortly.
And what they don't understand is we're going to expose them.
Yes, we are.
And so people are going to know who to vote for when their seats are up.
And
Right.
yeah, just so people know, I mean, Oliver, I know it's probably not that much of a surprise, but we've even got death threats now. I mean, but people think this is going to like stop us. Actually, it makes me understand even more that when God said, "Blessed are you who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, great is your reward in heaven." So you're not stopping me, you're actually motivating me, whoever is out there speaking all kinds of slander against me, demeaning me. No, because my conscience is clear. I know what I'm doing this for. As Oliver said, we're doing God's work. We're doing what he's called us to do. And that's not going to slow me down. It's going to make me more determined and understand that I'm doing what's right.
You've made an impact when you're getting death threats.
Yeah, I guess you do.
I'll let you know when I get one. I haven't yet.
Yeah, I'll pray you don't.
Well,
I think you're making a huge impact. You don't have to get a death threat to prove it.
I
That's for
can't
sure,
believe they would
Oliver.
want to hurt the Pooh Bear.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyway, yeah,
Well,
well,
can we end with a prayer? And
we sure
hopefully
can.
we'll see
Yeah,
over 1,000 of us join together tomorrow, I hope, and
for
pray.
sure.
Feel free
Yeah.
to end if you want to. Father God, I just thank you so much, Lord, that we were born for such a time as this, that you have raised each and every one of us up. Lord, who's listening to this program now, God, if anyone out there listening is questioning whether you want them, Lord, off the bench and in this battle, let them question it no more, God. They have the discernment to be here. They have the discernment to hear and eyes to see, Father, what is going on. So I pray that you would put a calling on their hearts. I pray that they would not stand by in silence, because silence in the face of evil is evil itself. And you will not hold us guiltless, God. So I ask that not only would you call us, Lord, but you would equip us. Help us, Lord, have the resources, God, that we need in order to do your will and your work, Lord, and to stand in this hour. God, for our freedoms across our country. Let Iowa be an incredible leader, Lord, and we are the heartland, Lord, but it only begins with us. It begins with what's in our hearts. It begins with our relationship with you, God, and saying, you know what? I'm willing. Here I am. Send me. I'm ready. So I ask, God, that you would bring us all together, Lord, with one voice tomorrow to say, we will not comply. We do not bow down to the world system. We do not worship government. We worship God. We worship you, Lord. So I pray, Lord, that with all my heart, you are honored tomorrow, Lord. You are glorified, God. Your spirit would be present in the Iowa House and the Iowa Senate and on the Iowa floor, and we will with one voice yell freedom, because God, freedom is our given right from you, and it's not theirs to take from us, God. So please be with us tomorrow, Lord, and equip us, God, each and every one of us, to be used by you. Amen.
Amen. Amen, Emily. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you,
Very
Oliver.
powerful.
What a blessing. You
What a
motivated me today. I was
blessing.
feeling a little bit down because sometimes I'm pulled in so many different directions, nationally, locally. I'm going to continue traveling nationally. It's going to go all year. We just found out one time a month with General Flynn throughout this process of standing for freedom. But my heart is also local. And so I can't thank you enough for what you're doing. And I'll join and help in any way I possibly can. And anyone out there listening, if you want to reach me, reach out to me. I know that I'm only one person, but if I can help one more person, it's all worth it.
It is worth it, and I do have to say something to people that are watching this, that it's amazing how God works and the universe works, because I thought, oh man, I should reach out to Emily or Sonia or somebody and do a video for tomorrow. And I didn't feel like bothering anybody. I thought, oh, for them to get set up and be ready. So I thought I'd do a solo. And then I
Yeah.
set up to do this solo and you call. And then here we
Yeah.
are connecting like this and doing this video for our viewers and for Iowans. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Well,
amazing.
God bless Oliver. We'll see
Yep.
every freedom fighter tomorrow and we'll
God
come
bless you,
together.
Emily. Yep.
Okay.
I'll see
God
you
bless you
tomorrow.
too,
Have a blessed day.
Oliver. See you
Hopefully I can
tomorrow.
introduce you again. See you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. That was
Maybe.
amazing. Oh, there she goes. Okay, well, tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. If you can show up at 7 to help set up candles and put stickers on the backdrop, that would be awesome. We look forward to seeing you all as we stand for freedom, as we say hell no to vaccine mandates, and as we say, hey, it's time to make this right. I mean, there's so many people that are losing their jobs or being coerced. There were October 1st deadlines and November 1st deadlines and December 1st deadlines. We need to fix this for Iowans. No Iowan should ever be fired or discriminated against because of their medical choices. So I hope to see you tomorrow. And I'm glad that you joined us tonight. Have a blessed evening. We will see you in the morning.